And welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed our first two parts of drawing this Easter bunny. It's a little silly, a little funny. Hopefully it got rid of some boredom. Here's a couple things I changed since the last video. While I was cleaning up, I decided to create another circle here for the yolk of the egg. I realized it needed some yolk. No joke, I need some yolk. So while doing some cleanup, I decided to add a couple more little fractures and put a yolk. For that, if you want to add the yolk, just put a little half circle here and then another half circle, but not as bulbous, if you will. That's how I did this one. And of course, as always, you can do it however you like. If you don't want to add the yolk, then that is fine, or you can make it a little more drippy, having it come down here, something like that. That's just how I wanted to do my Easter bunny. Alright, so I'm going to leave that alone as far as now, from now on, at least for the video. For my own preferences, what I would probably end up doing is cleaning up more lines and going back over again, keeping them, getting them more and more cleaner as I go along. That's usually how I do it. I probably would need at least one more go over on most of these, and that's just my preference. Now we're going to get, as promised, we're going to get to the body of this sad little bunny who's got an egg cracked on his head. Okay, so let's go down a little bit here, and we're going to make this kind of chibi style. And what chibi is, usually the body is smaller than the head. So in case you don't know what a chibi is. Now what I'm going to do is start doing it like how we did on our part one. We're going to go back to plotting things. So I'm going to just start putting some circles in approximately where I think where I would like things to be. Let's start off with a center line. I'm going to, let's see, let's have it to where that's how big his body is. That would be the bottom. What do you think about that, huh? That's going to be the bottom, and I may end up cutting through some of these whiskers, so I might have to erase those, but we'll see as we go, as I start plotting these lines. We've got side of the face here, and side of the face here. Geez, so let's put shoulders about here. Let's see. That would, no, let's see. Right there. Okay, so let's just start doing loose. I'm not going to draw a full circle. I'm going to do our little C's like we did before, and try to get somewhat symmetrical, but again, it doesn't have to be. This is cartoonish, so it doesn't have to be completely symmetrical. Plus, we're going to have a lot of other things going on. This is just a shape that we need to indicate shoulders and arms. Now, I'm going to have it to where he, let's say he fell on his bum. And that's possibly how he got this egg on his head. So, we're going to have him sitting down. For that, I'm going to say that's the bottom. We're going to have those big old feet here. And what we're going to do is have to where his arms are behind him. So that's why this is only an indication, because now we can start taking that line, give it a little bit more of an actual line to it instead of a curve, because that will be an arm, and then his body will be here. But first, let's start putting in these big, ginormous feet. Ginormous compared to his body, at least. Okay, so like I said, we may go on the top of some of these whiskers on each side. Let's just see how it goes. I want to get another big circle. We're going to go round and round, float over the paper. Just use your hand if you can to hold your pencil up, and then use your elbow and shoulder to kind of make this motion. Once you're kind of happy with that motion, then you can start putting the pencil down. And there we go. Got a foot. Okay, let's keep that same motion going this direction. Okay, once you're ready, once you're happy with that, you're comfortable with your arm motion, oh, put the pencil down. Got a little carried away. I want to go further out, but we've got our guidelines. I want his feet to be here. So let's take that. Let's bring it out a little further like we have that one. Just a little further. I didn't get my circle that far back. But that's the beauty of drawing light and making these guidelines. So now we can start putting things in. Going off of some of these guidelines, give him big feet. And again, if you get to this point and you're not entirely happy, it's okay. It's your world. You erase what you need to erase so that you can fix what you think needs to be fixed. Put big over. I really like this one. I want to try and keep this one as close to that circle as possible. Just going to darken it up just a little bit. And we could get these lines in so we know where we're going as far as these whiskers, if we are going to put the foot behind the whisker or in front of the whisker. I think we're going to put it in front, so we're going to eventually, I'm going to erase what's inside the circles here. Okay, so now we've got these big old ginormous feet. And you know what, with these big feet, let's bring the body down just a little bit more, put it halfway. That's where his body is going to end. We'll have these big old feet. Now, one common misconception when you're actually drawing that I have learned to try and fight, and when talking to people when they are drawing and asking opinions, I've noticed that you can see better when it's other people's things than when it's yours. We're our toughest critic. But one of those things is you don't always see every part of what you're drawing. In this case, what I'm trying to say is you may not see his legs. His legs are attached to his little bunny feet, so his legs would probably be here. Okay? If that's the case, then you wouldn't see them. So if I added a leg, it may look a little weird. So just keep that in mind, that you don't always have to show all the pieces. In this case, see how this one's a little bit longer than that one? That's fine. That could just mean this foot's tilted back a little more. Maybe he's wiggling his toes. Don't worry about it. And don't let anyone else make you worry about it. There are some things that, yes, may need fixing, but not everything, especially when it comes to these cute little cartoon characters. Let's give him, there's his arm. I'm going to give him a little indication of armpit. And that's all we're going to do, just a line there. Okay? And we're going to do the same over here, make this a little bit more of a line, curve that, and then straight line here. And a little indication of the armpit. All right. Now we could add some details to this if we'd like, but for now let's go ahead and see what's going on with these feet. And like I said, I hope you are enjoying these. I know these videos are a little longer than most videos, but I am trying to do a step-by-step, real-time, so that you could, if you chose to, draw along with me. And of course, if need be, you could always pause, replay, all that good stuff. And if you are enjoying videos like this, just let me know in the comments below. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, take these guys off. As you can see, I'm taking off these parts of the whiskers because they are now behind the foot, the feet. And this bunny does not have transparent feet. His feet are going to be big and fluffy. So we can go ahead, while we're doing that, I'm going to get rid of some of my extra lines that I am not going to use when I was creating this circle. I'll just clean those up a little bit, and also any stray lines that you see from your plot lines, if you will. Get rid of that initial line I put there. Okay. And now we've got a little bit more view of what we're trying to do. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? To be able to see what you're trying to do. Alright, so we can always come back again and put our outlines cleaner like we're going to do up here. But for now, let's go ahead and start putting in, because I want to not bore you for another 20 minutes or so. Let's start putting in his little pads of his feet. I'm going to do 3 circles for the toes. Just going down. His little pads, okay? This one's going to be a little bit less of a circle because it's towards the end of the foot, so we're going to give that one kind of a C here, half circle here. Then we're going to give him a big foot pad here, which is going to be a big circle in the back. It's going to slowly go closer to the middle toe pad and come back around. Now if you want to get really cute and creative, you can make this even a heart shape. Just give it a little heart shape here. That's up to you. Alright, and we can give him a little indication of the little toe rounds, okay? Then what we can do later is we could even cut off this straight line and only have the little humps for each toe. In fact, if we're going to do that, we can even do one here. Alright, then we'll do the same thing over here. Now this one we're going to have it to where, since it's smaller, let's pretend his toes are pulled up a little bit, so we're going to have these, some people call them beans, these little beans, a little higher up than versus that one. And that one's going to be closer to the edge, and do the same half circle bean there. Alright, then we'll give him his little back heel pad, if you will. That's the middle toe. Come down. Round all the edges on these, even though it is a different kind of shape, it's going to be almost like the nose with the rounded, a triangle with rounded corners, if you will. Alright, then we can give him these toes to be more this way. I'm not going to have the indenture because these are kind of like turned up like that, whereas this one's more head on. We're going to make this one look a little more like this. So these toes are not going to give us the rounded indication on each one, just one line coming down. And that'll be enough to indicate this is just a little different. And it's okay if not everyone understands. We understand, right? Okay. So we've got the toes, we've got the beans and the heel plotted in. We can do the same process as we did for the face. We start removing stray lines all over the place and clean up any kind of areas and pass back with our pencil on the areas that we want to refine and make a cleaner line. So here we take off more of these lines, stray lines that we had here. Still got some here. Okay. Alright, so you get the idea. We're going to just go back and forth as we did in parts 1 and 2 for the face. We would do that for the feet. So I think you can carry on with that. So we're getting close to the 20-minute mark, and I promised I wouldn't go too far. So here's what we're going to do. Before I let you go, let's give him some overalls. Just going to put a straight line there. Semi-curved line here and here. Big old button. Take that straight line, come over here, give a break for that one. Semi-curve back up. And we're going to do the same on this side. Let's give another semi-curved line coming down, past that line. Okay. Nice big button. And let's finish the overall over here. Alright, now let's give him a little pocket in his overalls here. Alright, now to indicate the pocket, we're going to not connect to that line. We're just going to give it another line down here, a little lighter than the top line. And let's give it a couple little straight lines that come to a point to that center there. Alright. And that'll be his little pocket. Can even put a couple little dashes in here to indicate the little stitch area. And there's our little bunny. You can decorate his clothes if you want. Give him a couple more things. Maybe put a little basket of eggs. All kind of different things you can do. But here is the main structure for our nice little chibi cartoon bunny. Again, you would just go over, clean up all the lines you want to keep, and erase all the lines you don't want to keep. Repeating the same process we did in steps 1 and 2. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll be doing a lot more instructional videos like this on our Patreon. Our Patreon will be linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope you stay safe, hope you have fun, and with art we all rise together.